Multilingualism, meaning, nature, and scope. The ability of an individual speaker or a community of speakers to use multiple languages. ഒന്നിലധികം ഭാഷകൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കാനും മനസ്സിലാക്കാനുമുള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയുടെയോ സമൂഹത്തിൻ്റെയോ കഴിവാണ് ബഹുഭാഷാവാദം. Multilingualism in education refers to the practice of using multiple languages as medium of instruction or as subject of study within the educational system. It involves recognizing, valuing, and utilizing the linguistic diversity present in a given society. Multilingualism meaning എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് multilingualism refers to the capacity to communicate in more than one language. Multilingualism can be individual or societal. Individually, a person might speak several languages to varying degree of fluency. Societal multilingualism involves communities where multiple languages are used regularly in different contexts, such as in public life, media, and education. Individual scope എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് this include the personal advantage of multilingualism such as cognitive benefit, enhanced communication skill, and cultural awareness. Educational scope. In education, multilingualism refers to integrating multiple language into teaching and learning process. This can involve using multiple languages as a medium of instruction or offering language courses as part of this curriculum. The goal is to leverage linguistic diversity to enrich learning experiences and prepare students for a global world. Societal scope എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് on a broader level, multilingualism reflects the linguistic diversity of a society. It involves policies and practices that support and promote the use of multiple languages, ensuring that linguistic diversity is acknowledged and preserved. In education context, multilingualism helps in creating inclusive environments that cater to students from diverse linguistic backgrounds and prepare them for a multicultural world. Bridge differences among students. Multilingualism can help bridge cultural and linguistic gap among students. By incorporating multi-languages into classroom activities and communication, students from different backgrounds can feel more included and understood, encourage peer-to-peer support, and create opportunities for students to share the linguistic and cultural experiences. Make the expertise of teachers available to the diversified student community. Teachers proficient in multi-languages can better address the needs of students who speak those languages. Offering bilingual or multilingual support materials and resources can help make teachers' expertise more accessible to a diverse student body. Deepen understanding. Multilingual education can enhance understanding by allowing students to learn and engage with content in multiple languages. This approach can lead to a richer, more nuanced grasp of subject as students gain insight from different linguistic and cultural perspectives. Ensure flexibility in classroom activities. Multilingualism allows for more flexibility in classroom activities. For example, activities can be designed to include language option for incorporate translation tools, enable students to participate in ways that suit their language skills. Enhance student motivation. Recognizing and valuing students' native language and cultural backgrounds can increase their motivation. Multilingual education can also offer students more engaging and relevant learning experiences, which can boost their enthusiasm and commitment to the studies. Build self-esteem. By acknowledging and celebrating students' multilingual abilities, educators can help build self-esteem. Valuing each student's linguistic background as an asset rather than a barrier reinforces the sense of identity and confidence. Prepare a global citizenship. Multilingualism is a key component of global citizenship. It equips students with the language skills needed to communicate across cultures, understand global issues from multiple perspectives, and engage effectively in an interconnected world. Deficit theory, Yeller 1989, suggested that working class children have an inadequate command of grammar and vocabulary to express complex ideas. Deficit theory, as described by L, suggests that working class children often struggle with language because they might not have a strong grasp of grammar or a rich vocabulary. This theory posits that these students may have difficulty expressing complex ideas, which can lead to problems in communication, especially with people from different language background. Because of these challenges, they might feel less competent and face psychological issues such as a lack of confidence in their academic performance. Especially, the theory argues that these language issues contribute to the struggles in schools. This theory explains why students fail in using language. They have poor linguistic ability, weak vocabulary foundation, limited range of grammatical constructions, inadequate communicative ability with persons from a different language background, lack of coherence in the presentations. As a result, students experience psychological problems and feel incompetent in class. Discontinuity theory suggests that there might be a fundamental difference between first language L1 and second language L2 acquisition. Discontinuity theory argues that learning first language and learning a second language use different methods or processes. This means that the skill targets used to pick up native language are not the same as those used to learn an additional language. As a result, there can be a noticeable difference or gap between how we acquire our first language compared to our second language. This theory proposes that the mechanisms or process involved in acquiring a first language differ significantly those from those involved in learning a second language, leading to a perceived gap or discontinuity between the two. Socio-cultural variance with special focus to dialect and register. Dialect. A particular form of a language which is peculiar to a specific region or social group. A dialect is a variant of language that is specific to a particular region, social group or community. It can differ from one forms of the same language in terms of vocabulary, pronunciation and grammar. Dialects often reflect the culture and historical background of the speakers, and they can sometimes be so distinct that they might be considered separate language. A dialect is distinguished by its vocabulary, grammar and pronunciation. A regional variety of language distinguished by features of vocabulary, grammar and pronunciation from other regional varieties and constituting together with them a single language. A form of language spoken in a particular geographical area or by members of a particular social class or occupational group distinguished by its vocabulary, grammar and pronunciation. Malayali English, Maharashtrian English, Punjabi English, Bengali English, Hindi English. Malayali English, spoken by people from Kerala. It often includes pronunciation and vocabulary influenced by Malayalam. For instance, the accent might be influenced by the Malayalam language. A certain expression of words might reflect Malayalam syntax or idiomatic usage. Punjabi English, spoken by people from Punjab. This variety might have pronunciation influenced by Punjabi, including certain intonations and rhythm pattern typical of Punjabi speech. Punjabi English speakers may also incorporate Punjabi vocabulary or idiomatic expressions. Bengali English, common among speakers from West Bengal and Bangladesh. It often includes a distinct accent and vocabulary influenced by Bengali. This might manifest in specific pronunciation and occasional use of Bengali words and expressions in English. Register. In linguistic terms, register refers to the variation in language use depending on the context, audience, or purpose of communication. It encompasses the level of formality and the specialized vocabulary or expressions used by different groups. Register often refers to the degree of formality of language, but in a more general sense, it means the language used by a group of people who share similar work or interests, such as doctors, lawyers. Formal register used in professional or serious context like academic papers or official speeches. Informal register used in causal settings such as conversations with friends or family. Register is one of the many styles of varieties of language determined by such factors: social occasions, purpose, and audience. Additionally, within specific professions or interest group, people use a specialized register that includes technical terms relevant to the field like legal jargon for lawyers or medical terminology for doctors. How we decide which language register is appropriate to use. Deciding which language register is appropriate depending on audience. For example, communicating with a professional audience might require a formal register, while a casual conversation with friends might be informal. Topic: the subject matter influence register. Technical or academic topics may demand a formal and precise register, whereas everyday topics might be expressed in a more conversational style. Situation: the context of the communication, whether it's a formal presentation, a written report, a casual chat, or a social media post, determines the appropriate register. For instance, a job interview would call for a formal register, while a text message to a friend would be informal. Understanding the language background of the students. First and second language learners. First language learners. These are individuals who acquire the native language, mother tongue, naturally during early childhood, typically through immersion and interaction with the environment. The process involves learning to speak, understand, read, and write the language with native like proficiency. Second language learners. These individuals learn a language other than the native language often later in life. The learning process can occur in various contexts such as formal education, language immersion program, or self study. Second language acquisition may vary in difficulty depending on factors like the learner's age, the similarity between the first and second language, and the amount of exposure to the new language. Home language versus school language. Home language. This is a language spoken at home and within a person's family. It is often the language in which a person first learns to communicate and may reflect the family's cultural and ethnic background. It's the language used in daily interactions, traditions, and family life. School language. This is the language used in educational settings, including instruction, communication with teachers, and academic work. It may or may not be the same as the home language. In many multilingual societies, the school language could be a second language or a language different from the one spoken at home. For many students, especially in multilingual or multicultural environments, the home and school languages can be different, which might impact their academic performance and social integration. Efforts to support bilingual or multilingual education can help bridge any gaps between these languages. Power dynamics. Power dynamics in language often refers to how different languages or language varieties hold different levels of social, economic, and cultural influence. In the context, uh, it suggests that the language used in education settings should not overshadow or diminish the importance of a student's home language. The superiority of the target language or the language followed in school must not be overpowered by the home language of a student. Education language versus home language. The target language typically used in schools or formal setting may be considered more dominant due to its association with educational and professional success. However, the home language, which is spoken in a student's personal and family life, also holds significant cultural and emotional value. Maintaining balance. It's crucial to maintain a balance between these languages. While proficiency in the target language is essential for academic and professional success, preserving and valuing the home language supports a student's cultural identity and self esteem. Supportive policies. Educational systems should aim to support both languages. For instance, bilingual education programs and culturally inclusive curricula can help ensure that the home language is respected and maintained, while students also develop strong skills in the target language. Cultural identity and self esteem. Neglecting the home language can lead to a loss of cultural identity and affect student self esteem. By valuing and incorporating the home language, students can feel more connected to their heritage and more confident in their learning environment. The home language can, however, be used by teachers as a stepping stone to raise the thinking ability of the child and to make quick associations. Dialectal differences. Language varieties of different regions must not be overlooked. Language used in teaching the subject issues and challenges. Teaching subject, particularly complex one like positive psychology, involves various challenges related to language uses. Complex terminology. Positive psychology includes specialized term, example, flow, hedonic, well-being, that may be unfamiliar or challenging for students. Ensuring that students grasp these terms is crucial. Cultural differences. Language and cultural differences can affect how concepts are understood. Terms and ideas might not translate easily between languages or cultures, which can lead to misunderstandings. Level of abstraction. Second concepts is some concepts in positive psychology are abstract and require careful explanation. Teaching these ideas in an accessible way without oversimplifying can be challenging. Engagement. Using language that engages students and connects concepts to their personal experiences can be difficult. Striking the right balance between academic rigor and related content is important. Student background. Students come with varied backgrounds and challenge proficiencies. Adapting the language to meet diverse needs while maintaining academic integrity can be challenging.